see me running up the escalator carrying my suitcases and running down like I'm going to the airport, to the gate where I'm going to be. They think, oh, this guy's late, get out of his way. No, I'm not late. I'm trying to get some exercise. It's the only time I can get it. I'm running through the airport. So if you see me running through the airport, you can go ahead and say, hey, Brother Hovind, can you talk for a minute? Because I'll have time. I'm just running to get there to get some exercise. So I think some suffering is because we don't get enough exercise. God said in Genesis chapter 3, thorns and thistles shall it bring forth, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. I think we're supposed to eat the right things. And in 1 Timothy chapter 4, bodily exercise profiteth little, but godliness is profitable unto all things, having the promise of the life that now is and that which is to come. I think this verse is teaching us that bodily exercise will profit in this life, but it won't profit in the life to come. So that's why I said at the beginning, if you're going to live to be 100 and die and go to hell, you've wasted your time. It'd be much more important to live in a sick body and go to heaven than live in a healthy body and go to hell. But I think exercise is important, and we don't get enough of that. Many people do not get enough. Also, and this would be the opposite of that, which goes in with the exercise, is rest. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 26, the disciples came and he said, sleep on now, take your rest. It's okay to get some rest. In Mark chapter 6, Jesus said to the disciples, when everything was so busy that day, he said, come ye yourselves apart into a desert place and rest a while. For they had no leisure, so much as to eat. Jesus said, look, fellas, come apart and rest for a while. My preacher used to say, if you don't come apart, you will come apart. And some people are so busy and have so much to do, they live under so much stress, they end up coming apart. And just take time to rest, a little mini vacation. I've got friends all over the country as I travel who are chiropractors or who do massage therapy. And just last week I was in a church, and a man drove 300 miles to come over and see me and said, Brother Hovind, I'm a massage therapist and I've seen your tapes and it's really changed my life and I just want to help you. I know you have to stand a lot, you preach a lot, you're busy. Would you let me just let you relax for an hour? And boy, he worked on my back and my feet, and I thought I was going to melt right through the table. And he told me, I don't know if he can prove it or not, but he told me that George Burns lived to be 100 or so, and George Burns had a private masseuse who traveled with him and gave him a massage and made him completely relax every single day. Gave him a 45-minute massage every day. Now, I can't afford that, don't know if that's necessary or not, but he did live to be 100. And he says Bob Hope has a massage therapist also that goes with him. And just relax. I'm not selling massage therapists or anything else, but I'm saying we do live under an awful lot of stress. And if you don't learn to just relax once in a while, you might not have time to take a 2-week vacation, but you can take a 20-minute vacation every day. Just get away from it all and relax. And we need that, folks. We live under too much stress. But that would be in the same category as bodily exercise. In Ephesians chapter 4, the Bible talks of the head, which is Christ, is the whole body is fitly joined together. I think, of course, it's obvious your head, where the brain is, controls your entire body. And a major part of health, as I understand it, is having everything lined up where the head can tell the rest of the body what to do. When my son my oldest son was just a few months old, he had very severe digestive problems. We spent a fortune on doctor bills and tried everything to get this boy. He couldn't digest anything. We tried mother's milk and every kind of formula there is in the world. He just couldn't digest it. Finally, one doctor put him on progestamil. Here I was making $100 a week and spending $30 a week on formula for my son. And we moved at that time to Kankakee, Illinois, and there was a chiropractor in the church. And I said, brother, I know nothing about chiropractic, absolutely nothing. Would you look at my son and tell me what's wrong with him? I didn't tell him what was wrong. I asked him to tell me what was wrong. Here's this little boy, 9 months old. He picked him up, looked at him, turned his head a little bit back and forth, laid him on his stomach, and felt down the back of his spine. He came to a place on the spine, and he said, oh, this vertebrae right here is twisted out of place. He said, I bet this boy has digestive trouble, doesn't he? I said, how did you know that? He said, well, your spine, of course, houses the nerves that go to all parts of your body. And he said, if one part of the spine is twisted out of place, it'll pinch a nerve going to whatever that nerve goes to and probably cause some kind of sickness or illness there, or certainly some pain. He said, now, the boy's 9 months old. He said, I'm going to push the bone back into place, which is not hard to do, a little simple chiropractic adjustment. He said, but you need to understand, the muscles that hold those bones in place normally have been out of place for 9 months. So it's probably going to pull it back out. He said, I'll need to push it back in and it'll pull back out. I need to do that maybe a dozen times. I don't know. but eventually it will learn to stay where it's supposed to be. So over the next few weeks, free of charge, he adjusted my son, and after 8 or 10 adjustments, he was fine, and his digestive system returned to normal. And now he's plenty healthy and eats an awful lot. So he's outgrown that can't digest or eat anything stage for sure, in his mid-20s now. But I think chiropractic is very important. Now, of course, some medical doctors are going to think this is quackery, but I have been in numerous car accidents. I've hurt my upper back and my neck and my lower back a tremendous amount. Have a lot of scar tissue there. And I would have to say, if it weren't for chiropractic, I probably would not be walking today. I'm going to give a conservative estimate and say I've probably been adjusted 4,000 times by chiropractors. I have maybe 100 of them around the country that know me and say, Brother Hovind, if you ever get in our area, come over and we'll give you a free adjustment. And they all have different techniques, and some are better than others, and some do different things than others. But Dr. Tyler up near St. Louis has, after 20 years of severe pain in my back from the car accidents, whiplash, he was able to absolutely fix it for me. And I feel great now, my upper back, and he gave me a good adjustment. He'll be on the tape in a little bit talking about nutrition and health, but he does chiropractic adjustments. And I think getting the body lined up is certainly scriptural. Everything needs to be joined together. And that would fit into the same category as exercise. Some people have a lot of suffering and pain because part of their body, their backbone, went out of place during birth. And the rest of the body has adjusted to the bone being out of place, and it ends up causing suffering or pain for a lifetime. And it could be alleviated. The sooner you catch it and fix it, the sooner the body can readjust to all this. I know when they fix my neck, sometimes it makes my lower back start hurting. And it's like if you had a stack of blocks and the bottom one was out, the rest of them would have to be compensated to still balance. And if your bottom vertebrae is out, the rest of them may twist or something just to keep you standing straight or to alleviate the pain, and you won't realize that the pain isn't really coming from where you think it's coming from. And so as they work out all the kinks, you end up doing much better. But another category of Bible verses about health comes from your attitude. Many people are a grouch, and they're not going to be healthy no matter what happens, because attitude has a profound effect on your health. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 17, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine. I think just being cheerful would be helpful. Just like a medicine, it'll heal an awful lot of things. Laughter is a tremendous thing to help people heal. Just laugh once in a while. In Proverbs chapter 16, the Bible says, pleasant words are as an honeycomb, sweet to the soul, and health to the bones. Speaking sweetly to people, just be nice. A person that's a grouch can take all the vitamins they want and exercise all they want. They're probably still going to have some health problems because their attitude is not good. The Bible says, let not the sun go down upon your wrath. If you are angry and you go to bed angry, there's just an emotional problem there that tenses up. And I've heard say that people that are angry or don't release their anger properly, don't alleviate their stress, they end up getting ulcers. And yet when you laugh, I've been told that laughter produces the motions in the stomach. When you laugh real hard, sometimes your stomach even hurts. The laughter does something so where you cannot produce ulcers. And it even helps ulcers to heal. So I can't prove that or not, but you might want to do some research on that. But I think having a good attitude would be important. A fourth category would be diet. And here's where you'll have, health food stores and vitamin experts come out of the woodwork and say, yep, that's right, that's where it all is. I don't think all health comes from diet, but I do think we do have a problem in most parts of the world with diet. This might go back to Satan's long-range plan of destroying humanity. God told Satan in Genesis chapter 3, someday the seed of the woman is going to bruise your head. And he's tried ever since to kill every seed of the woman that he can. And Satan has worked awfully hard to destroy humanity in every possible way. I think our food supply certainly has been, the quality has been diminished. And whether it's a satanic plot or not, I don't know. Maybe it's just love of money. But somebody said the rice crops originally in places like China had about 1,500 varieties of rice. And people came in through the years and decided this particular kind of rice grows faster or bigger or better than the rest. And pretty soon they've weeded out all of the old varieties of rice. Now we have 1 or 2 or 3 basic kinds of rice that are grown. So what's going to happen if there's a plague or a disease of a certain type of rice, it can wipe out half the rice crop. Whereas in the old days, if there were 1,500 varieties of rice, it would only wipe out 1/1500th, and it wouldn't cause a famine. So in the desire to raise more money, more capital from the ground, I think we've ended up getting rid of a lot of variations. Even this would apply to corn or wheat or anything else too. That might eventually